Well, the origins of Winter Wonderland, I write riddles. Now, how did that come about? When we go on vacation many years ago, my kids would not shut up. They talk just like their mother. No, they got it from me. So in order to get some peace and quiet in the car, I started coming up with riddles for them to solve. Oh, stuck in the middle is where I'm at. If I'm long, why, then you're fat. First person to figure that out gets a quarter.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, my son Matthew would yell, oh, that's a belt. I go, okay. Big and green and full of holes. See the flags on top of poles. And then all of a sudden my wife chimes out, that's a golf course. I said, baby, you're not playing. She goes, yeah, but it's fun. I said, okay, let's write these down. And so over the years, I wrote them down. And then about 10 years ago, I'm working with the city. I work with the newspaper and we work on their advertising. We're trying to think of a contest. And somebody says, you write riddles. Why don't you come up with riddles about Christmas? And so here's how a riddle works. It has to be true of one thing. I like it to rhyme and if it can be funny. So it has to be true about one item only. So what I'm taking something that you know and I'm hiding it with an obtuse description. That's how I came up with riddles. So now this will be the 10th year of Window Wonderland. And what I'm hoping that people will do is what I see them do every year when I come downtown is they get together in groups, because the riddles might be about, a Christmas song, a Christmas movie, might be about a Christmas tradition, but I loop a lot of history in there. I loop a lot of things in there that you're gonna need a group to figure out. You can use your smartphone, but it doesn't really help because you know the answer. It's just a bizarre description.
Do you sit down at some point and just map out a lot of objects and then write around them?
Yes, actually I do, because I do riddles so much now. I do it at our local Renaissance fair. I do that every year. And so now I can almost do them extemporaneous. Somebody can say, here's an object, write me a riddle. And I can usually say, okay, I just want to give you an obtuse description of something you already know. So I've written probably thousands of them over the years. If you count up all the years I've done Winter Wonderland, that's about 600 different riddles about the same subjects. And every year I try to make it more difficult. And a lot of years I try to loop in something. Well, if you want to look at one right here on the window.
Yeah.
All right, this one here. It's a yearly missive. Your life. How exciting. In 2020, I suspect some fiction writing. That is something that people do every year, but it's a different twist on it. So if you know, that's actually an easy one. But they do get, you want to hear a hard one?
Yeah.
All right. I brought some examples.
Okay, give me some examples.
All right, here, we'll go through it. Here's an easy one. You'll probably get this. Ride a thimble, a hat, a car. Become a landlord, and you will go far. Name that classic game. How many games have we played?
Yeah.
How many fights did you play?
It goes on forever. Yeah.
Now this is harder.
Okay.
You may not get this one. 2 centuries ago, a simple song did soar. This German gem is still sung by Bing Crosby and many more. So now you got to figure out what German song from 2 centuries is still being sung.
Yeah.
Now here's I think this is a fairly hard one. Beloved and delighted, this fellow's adored. The invention of an ad man from Montgomery Ward.
Oh, okay.
A great Christmas icon is invented by an advertising guy. So if you guys come downtown, and that's what I'm hoping I'll see more of this year. I'll probably get in a Renaissance costume. I did last week. I'll go up and down the streets. If I catch you playing riddle rhymes, I'll stop and I'll create a song about you. So hide from me when you see me. But what I would love is for us, especially during this pandemic, let's create one more good old day when we're out having fun, because this is free to play. Come downtown, bring your families, bring your friends. First prize is $1,000 worth of gift certificates from the town. But I think what you're gonna really get out of it is fun. And man, 2020 has been a fun deficit. Let's have some towards the end.
Well, and Bobby, you make a memory too, especially if you do it with family, or even if you come down here and make a group and make some new friends.
Well, that's my whole goal is, my kids are gone. I call them up every once in a while, throw stupid riddles at them, but now I get to play with another generation. So yeah, get out there and play, make some, take a friend with you and make a new friend.
How long did it take you to come up with all of these? Because it's one thing to come up with, I want to use these as the the idea, but then you've also got to make them. You make them rhyme.
All right, yeah, they have to rhyme. I can do 10 riddles, 8 to 10 riddles in an hour is what I can do. Once I have my subject matter, I'm pretty fast. The first year was about 2 riddles an hour, so I chug these out. If somebody gives me a subject, I do this online. If you ever go to my Facebook page, Riddle Rhymes, I sometimes have an open forum. I go, throw me a subject and let's see how quickly I can create a riddle in the moment. So it's part of the cognitive training I've got to do as an old guy to keep myself fast.
It is brilliant what you can do, though. I mean, and you have so much fun doing it.
This is the most fun. I always thought, my wife laughs at this, I always wanted to be the strong silent type, and I'm just not. And stupid jokes go through my head all the time. I go, why not make this a part of what we can do? And then what I really love in this is we all have a database of stuff in our heads, and when I see a group, I'll perform it in a group sometimes as a trivia contest. Somebody will start to shine in it, and I go, wow, they've realized they're picking up speed, and it gets very competitive. So it's something that the more people you have, the more fun you're going to have with something like this.
This goes on downtown through December 31st.
It's kicked off now, so get all your answers in. We're at the visitor center,
yeah.
So now you go in there, grab a form, walk around like the young people I saw earlier, and just fill them out, turn them in by December 31st.
It has to just thrill you when you do see groups trying to figure these things out.
Oh yeah, And
you're the father of all this.
Well, that's the thing is, I'm thinking, wow, it's been 10 years now. My favorite thing that's happened to me so far downtown, I haven't seen them this year, but for the last few years I've seen them. The mother and daughter play as a team, and they started this, I think they played every year. The daughter's now taller than the mother. I'm thinking, wow. Now, in 20, 30 years, she leaves Fredericksburg and goes on to her life, and she's going to talk about her Norman Rockwell moment. I'm part of her Norman Rockwell moment. But yeah, I grew up in this little town, and they would put Christmas riddles. And I was like, what? Who does that? We do that. We do that in Fredericksburg because, my gosh, it's still fun to have human contact. It's still fun to play games together, and games of all ages. Oh, wait a minute, they play it. Oh, I'll bother them later. But I'm walking down the street, but that's the thing is, that's my favorite thing about writing riddle rhymes is that I'm getting to entertain new kids and watching them grow up and thinking, wow, what are they going to think years down the road of how the town they grew up in treated Christmas.
How tough was it you this summer, or this spring, not to be able to be part of the Renaissance Fair?
Well, there's always a way around, and this is what I really believe. You can always go around what's happening. And so we had, where I worked, I was furloughed for a week. So I called the SPCA. I said, I tell you what, I can't perform at the Ren Fair this year, but for a donation of $20, I'll get in costume and I'll write a custom poem about your dog. So I got to write 25 poems. I got to raise $1,000, and I got to send people videos of me in costume with a picture of their dog with an epic pet poem for them. So I did it, and now I'm doing it now. Last week, I wear, when I'm on the street, I'll be in costume, but I'll wear a mask. I'll find a way to interact and do stuff. So the pandemic is going to make you think differently. But like this year, when I performed out on the street this last time, what I found is, okay, I can't talk quite as much, and of course I can't, hello, it is I, Quill, the master poet of the, you can't talk in dialect with the muffle on, so I had to mind my own business. I had to do more things that were physical. And I had to be more subtle sometimes, a thing I'm not used to. And I said, let me get good at being subtle. Let me get good at making people the center of the show. And that's what I learned out on the street. So yeah, the pandemic did bother me because I couldn't perform at the Renaissance Fair, but I did find other ways to perform. And that's what I love about going online and checking out people's YouTube channels, is everybody's coming up with new ways.
Yeah, that's a good philosophy in life, of just being able to get through something like this.
Yeah, and we are going to get through it, and we are going to appreciate. I mean, when we met on the street today, our first inclination, hey, brother,
it was.
We can't hug each other, we can't. But when we get to, will we ever look back on it and go, oh, that's no big deal? No, it was a huge deal.
It's a big deal.
And for now, we have to keep our distance. For now, it was a little bit lonely, but we will never take human connection and the power of being together. We'll never take that for granted again. And you know, it's one of the bitter lessons, but I'm happy I've looked at it and felt it and accepted it for myself.
Well, thanks for these on the windows, because again, it's a little bit more, it's a little of the normalcy of Christmas around here.
Yeah, and there's lots of different subjects in there. So what I suggest people to do is, if you're traveling in a group, of course you got to, you know, well, if it's your family, you're probably fairly close together physically, but try to get a group together, you know, that has people of various ages, because there's going to be things in here that people that are in their 70s and 80s have an advantage on. I also did do some cutting edge toys that are just new on the shelves, that if you don't have kids or you haven't been following media, you're going to go, oh, what is this? So you need a young person with you.
I was just going to ask you, are there a couple of them that are really, really tough?
Yeah, a couple of them are fairly tough. One of them is a 1947 movie that is fairly tough, but there's a pun in there that might help you solve it.
Well, Bobby, thank you. This is
Sure.
this is a great thing, and you provide so much to the community. Thank you.
You're welcome, brother. Thanks. Good to see you.
That was great.